Two undefeated teams in the Western Division of the MCAC tonight. There will only be one. The Wildcats of NDSCS take on the Lumberjacks of Dakota College-Bottineau as it is time for kickoff from Wahpeton, North Dakota here on BEK Prime. Happy to have you along statewide across the Peace Garden State and online at bechtel.com/BBN. Francisco Flores is going to boot things off for the Lumberjacks. They won the opening toss and elected to defer. Let's play homecoming football here on the campus of NDSCS. The opening field position for the Wildcats out across the 30 and just shy of the 35 as Kirkendall with a solid return and outcome. The Wildcats of North Dakota State College of Science led by their sophomore quarterback Mark Gaylor out of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, a state champion in high school, and he has shepherded this offense in a big way this year. These are two of the most prolific offensive attacks in the entirety of the NJCAA, and it should be fun to watch today. We're excited to bring it to you. First play, a handoff right up the gut for the Wildcats. A short carry just shy of the 40-yard line. Miles on the carry. For a gain of a few to make it second down and about 6.
In on the tackle, Nick Maduri and Jordan McDowell. Second down. Second and about 6.
Little flea flicker action here for the Wildcats, trying to hold on. Here comes the Lumberjack defense. The fumble recovered, but just barely by the Wildcats. A near disaster in the opening salvo, but North Dakota State College of Science manages to hold on. Good job by Thomas Smith III to just fall on that football and give his team a chance on third and away.
Brings up third down. Now we got third and about 18.
Robinson looking downfield, goes the short crossing pattern, and a whole lot more, almost getting it all at once, was Kyle Folks, the wide receiver out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota. However, he'll be just short.
Short of a first down, it'll be
it's actually the freshman quarterback, Rod Robinson, in at QB for NDSCS. The guy out of Miami, Florida, taking the helm. Low snap on the punt, corralled and sent away by the Wildcats. A really good start for the defense of Dakota College, and they get a friendly roll on the punt as well. And so out comes Dakota College-Bottineau, a primarily rushing-based attack. As we take a look at our Pinky Homes keys to the game, brought to us by Pinky Homes. Remind you, you get the keys to your new custom-built home from Pinky Homes, a family business dedicated to building your next family home. For Dakota College, it'll be about maintaining that balance. This is a team that knows they can run the ball. For the Wildcats, about getting their passing game going. They were unable to do so through drive 1. So now, let's see what Jackson Argo and company have in store for this Lumberjack attack. First play, a handoff right off the center as Elijah Todd and company probe for a bit of extra space. Todd brought down at the 44-yard line, just a couple yards there for a running back who is tops in the conference in touchdowns and yards per game. He has 10 scores coming in and 155 yards on the ground per game. So for the Wildcats, you slow down number 3, you give yourself a chance. This time it's a quarterback keeper. Jackson Argo has the football, and Jackson Argo has the first down of the day out to the 40-yard line, and a gain of 16 for the freshman quarterback for Dakota College. We talk about the key being balance for DCB, and they've done that this year. You see Argo and the dual threat that he brings, but the run and pass, always an equal measure for Coach Dan Davis in his 5th year at the helm. Here comes the pass, a deep shot with a step over the top. Almost. Kavonta Moses was right there. However, it will just miss out of the hands of Jackson Argo.
Moses, the intended receiver. Ronnie Miller on the coverage.
A little bit too far to the right. Good coverage down the field by Ronnie Miller.
Bring up 2nd and 10.
Just to try and get a bit of closing speed, but Argo wants that one back. He has the arm strength and arm talent to make that throw. Just misfired by a little bit. Wildcats load the box, preparing for this. A handoff to Eli Todd, who is brought short. No gain. 3rd down and 10. And now the Wildcat defense trying to do exactly what Dakota College did a moment ago.
Brings up 3rd down.
Passing situation for the freshman quarterback, who has acquitted himself very well. As we told you, 2 of the top offenses in the conference going at it today. Dakota College, of course, led by Eli Todd, as well as Durante Sanders, but they can throw it as well. Their passing numbers are good, particularly once they get into the red zone. Still a ways to go. Fake short, long shot, again, intended for Moses, and again, just a step off.
Pass is incomplete, intended for Moses.
And so on 4th and long, the offense will head off the field.
Brings up 4th and 10 for
the Lumberjacks.
Lumberjacks
will get ready to send it away. Francisco Flores will come out.
Kirkendall back deep.
And Kirkendall is back to receive it for the Wildcats. So in a game that features 2 of the best offenses in the conference, it is a pair of defensive stands to open things up. Snap just barely delivered on time to Flores, who goes with the directional kick, and it's a really good one. Down all the way inside the 5. Ball eventually spotted at the 3-yard line. It's a 37-yard punt with surgical precision by Francisco Flores.
4-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at their own 4-yard line.
So the Wildcats will start all the way inside their own 5 and need to drive the length of the field following an initial barrage by the Lumberjack defense, and now their eyes have to be wide with a big opportunity. Let's see if the Wildcats can embrace their key to the game. First, they will go to the ground, trying to just get a little bit of separation from that end zone. They do hand it off to Miles, and he gets a little bit, but just about a yard picked up there on the carry.
Initial hit made by
North
Jordan
Dakota
McDowell.
State College of Sciences.
Gain of about 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Wildcats.
So Rod Robinson comes out in the gun, trips to the near side of your screen for the freshman quarterback. Coming out in place of the prolific Gaylord here in the flat, finding Kyle Folks, and Folks manages to get most of the way to that line to gain. He's right there, and it's going to be a first down. The first down of the day for North Dakota State College of Sciences. Brings up a first down.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats at the 16-yard line.
A great crowd here in Wappiton as it's homecoming weekend. The festivities coming to their natural culmination here in a big-time rivalry game. The only 2 non-Minnesota teams in the Minnesota College Athletic Conference, both undefeated in the Western Conference. It's a big one for a number of reasons beyond regional pride. Miles on the carry, brings it to the 19-yard line, a gain of 3. Nick Maduri there on the tackle. The defensive end out of Sunrise, Florida, will make his impact known all the way throughout this game for Dakota College. One of the top defensive players in the conference, bolstering that defensive front that has done its job so far. Wildcats still looking for their first splash play. Will it come from their quarterback, Rod Robinson, with some space, and he gets out across the line to gain first down. Wildcats on an 8-yard scamper for Rod Robinson.
Wildcat first down, 1st and 10 Cats at the 28-yard line.
Patient run on the design keeper. Robinson waits for his moment and takes it. Robinson climbing the ladder, running out of time. Here come the Lumberjacks, and they get home. Tyler Gay and company on the tackle for Dakota College-Bottineau. Despite that, Rod does a good job of fighting his way forward and just falling down, picking up a couple, bringing it out to the 31-yard line for a gain of 3 to make it 2nd down and 7. Run comes near side, and here comes
Kingston
Tyler
Miles
Gay.
on the carry,
As
brought
Kingston
down by
Miles has
Tyler Gay.
no chance, brought down back to the
Loss
original
on the
line of
play.
scrimmage, and a little bit more. 3rd down and
We're
11.
going to call 3rd and 10.
Pistol formation here for the Wildcats. A little bit of pre-snap motion, free play. Rod Newitt shot down the field and a diving catch is there. What a snag for Marcus Hill.
We have a play on the field.
That's outstanding recognition by a freshman to recognize he's got a golden opportunity, and Marcus Hill delivers. Penalty is obviously declined, and the big gainer comes. A 33-yard pass to Marcus Hill.
The Lumberjacks 37-yard line.
So the freshman Rod Robinson, who's played off and on for the Wildcats this year, acquitting himself very well in relief of the sophomore quarterback Malik Gaylord. We knew it was going to be a competition all season long amongst those two. Coach Merle Johnson confident in both of their abilities. So far, the freshman showing out. Handoff off left side. Kingston Miles with a secondary effort down to the 31-yard line and a gain of 6.
Tackle made by Aaron Appleton. One of those. Be 2nd down. 2nd and 5.
So there right away, you see the importance of that air attack for the Wildcats. And obviously when you get it in chunk fashion like that, it's made that much better. Right back to Kingston Miles, and Kingston Miles has a 1st down, a 6-yard carry to bring it inside the 30 down to the 26-yard line. And the Wildcats are knocking on the door to that red zone.
That gain is good enough for a 1st down, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at the 26-yard line.
Robinson coming near side. That screen is blown up, tipped, and intercepted. What a follow-up effort on a tip drill. Trent Postma, the linebacker at Linden, Washington, is there on the INT for Dakota College.
For the Lumberjacks at the
That'll be frustrating for the Wildcats, but that's an outstanding recognition right there by Anthony Valcarol, the defensive end. Gets in, knocks it up, and his teammate is there to pick it up. So the turnover forced right as the Wildcat offense was really getting going. The screenplay, certainly a good idea with the pressure that NDSCS has been facing today. And now they deliver a little bit of their own. Absolutely nowhere to go, as that was blown up quickly by Marshawn Jones.
Loss on the play. Bring up
Ferguson there first as well. The guy who got to the inside to bring up a 3-yard loss and make it 2nd down and 13. So Dakota College will take an extra beat in the huddle here, trying to find their footing. Neither team able to get much going early, as with 6:28 to go in this first quarter, we remain scoreless. Far side, Argo, incomplete. Intended for Moses. That's been his favorite target today, and why not? The big tight end at 6'1", 220 provides a wide base to throw to. But that time Argo couldn't quite find him. And you see the hands go up in the air, some frustration. Neither offense is used to being stifled quite like this. Give a lot of credit to both these defenses showing out here on homecoming day for the Wildcats of North Dakota State College of Science. Third down and a ways for the Jacks here. And a must-pass situation for Jackson Argo. Argo, deep drop, climbs the ladder, stays on his feet. He's going to have to try and take off. Getting most of it is Jackson Argo out across the 30 to the 31. However, on a 10-yard carry with a loss initially, that brings up 4th down, a 3 and out. Forced by NDSCS, and they will get a punt return opportunity.
4th and 3.
So a pair of punts, the results for the Jacks so far, and the interception will not cost the Wildcats anything except some field position.
Kirkendall back deep for the Cats.
Flores does a good job corralling that high snap, and again goes for that directional kick, allowing no return and respecting the speed of the Wildcats. The good news for the hometown team is that they're going to start this drive right at midfield. So the interception will cost the Wildcats about 25 yards of field position, and that is it. The defense picks up the offense in a big way, and a chance to bounce right back for the hometown Wildcats. So Rod Robinson comes out in the pistol, hands it off. Kingston Miles finds some space. It's off right tackle. Kingston Miles has nobody in front of him, and the first points of the day come from the freshman running back for the Wildcats. And with 5:29 to go, it's a touchdown for NDSCS. You see Miles right there, good blocking, and just a second gear for the young man wearing number 1 as he explodes off the right side. And when it becomes a foot race, Miles is going to win it.
That's right.
The freshman out of St. Paul, Minnesota.
That's right.
The extra point lined up for one of the best kickers in the conference. Very nearly getting to that was the Jacks. They do not. 7-0. The homecoming game is led early by the home team. Seven nothing on a 50-yard scamper by Kingston Miles.
Western Minnesota by Prairie Business Magazine. Thank you, WCCO.
The defense for the Wildcats. The bad news for them is they're going to have to come right back out, but they have been outstanding so far. And the INT all but erased by the running back for the Wildcats. Now the Lumberjacks trailing for the first time, but they won't get away from their game plan. They know that feeding Elijah Todd as well as Sanders has been the MO of this team all year.
For the Lumberjacks.
A short kick. I think that one just blooped off the foot. Eventually picked up. Beaufort was there, the tight end, the up man. And at the 47-yard line is where the Lumberjacks will take over their best field position of the day by a mile.
1st and 10 for the Lumberjacks at their own 46-yard line.
So a gift handed to the visiting Jacks. Are they able to take advantage? 5:22 to go here in quarter number 1 here on BEK Prime. Dirk and Jesse with me here in Wahpeton. Jeff and Jared back in Bismarck. Play action fake. Argo looking in the middle of the field. That was a lot of contact, and a flag had to be thrown right there.
Argo's pass is incomplete.
Kirkendall was right there in coverage, and he just kind of beat his guy to the spot, but kind of also interfered with the pass.
Pass interference against the Wildcats.
First time we've seen the Laundry really breaking out today, although the free play obviously had its impact. Yeah, way too much contact there to let it go. Again, Moses was the intended target. So the ball crosses midfield.
After that penalty, it is a
and goes to the 47-yard line
College,
of the Wildcats. And it stays 1st and 10. Dunn goes in motion. They're going to hand it to him on the sweep. Diagnosed very quickly by the Wildcats.
Michael Dunn on the carry.
First guy in there on coverage, Kent Jasmine. And it was cleaned up by a whole host, including Desmond Reeves on the tackle for the Wildcats.
On the play, the 2nd and 10 for the Lumberjacks.
For Dakota College, Dan Davis in his 5th year at the helm, and this has been a DCB team that's been in the national rankings in each of those 5 years. Specifically on the defensive end, they've done really well. 2014 and 2015, They've had one of the top defenses in the entirety of the NJCAA, but right now it's their offense trying to get on track as the Wildcats taking a page out of their neighbor's playbook. Argo on the play action fake. Flush, running out of time, sends it downfield. That thing is lofted up, and it falls incomplete. Trying to find the tight end, Moses. And that was played very well by Kirkendall. Immediately following that pass interference, it is the defensive back who manages to, I think, get a hand on this. Does indeed, although it was just as much knocked away by Moses. I think you had 4 defensive backs on that one. Nobody was playing wide receiver as that thing was just up for grabs. Trips to the right side here for DCB. Argo in the gun. On the draw. Read immediately.
Deontay Sanders on the carry.
Jackson, the first one there, the linebacker out of Memphis, Tennessee. Leander Jackson brings up 4th and 11, and the Jacks will have to punt again.
Flores back in punt formation. Kirkendall back deep.
Flores to punt, Kirkendall to return. Been a busy man. As Kirkendall Jr., and again, a friendly roll for the Wildcats, goes out of bounds. Let's take a look at our player matchup brought to us by Choice Financial. I want to remind you that Choice Financial is people first. You can find out what it means at choicefinancialgroup.com. We so often look at the most important position in sports, and that, of course, is the quarterback. We've seen the import of that for both of these two teams today. Now, for the Wildcats of NDSCS, it's been Rod Robinson who has been the impactful one for the hometown team. Meanwhile, for Dakota College, we've seen plenty of Jackson Argo, the freshman quarterback out of Elkton, Minnesota, has been unable to get going so far, nor has Eli Todd. Deep shot down the field, way too much air, incomplete, second down.
Robinson's pass is incomplete. Intended for Ben Moss.
The Wildcats have not been afraid to uncork those shot plays in this one. They were working their way down the field, steady as she goes. It turned into an INT on a relatively safe play call on that bubble screen. And since then, they've been looking for it all, although a run play turned into a 50-yard gainer. That can help. Run over far side, a short gain.
Roderick Robinson on the carry.
And just like that, on the quarterback keeper for Rod Robinson, a gain of 1, 3rd down and 9, and the DCB defense that we talked about has some pedigree. They're going to try and get off the field.
So it'll be 3rd and 9 for the Wildcats.
You talk with head coach Dan Davis a little bit about this DCB team, and he points out that the big play is very much the Achilles heel. This defense is really good in the short and intermediate game, but they can get beat deep, and we've seen that today. Now, Robinson designed, quarterback keeper going to try and get it all at once. Rod Robinson out right around that line to gain. It's going to be close, but I think he's got the first down.
Out of bounds.
That takes a lot of faith in your quarterback to call a QB draw on 3rd and 8.
That's good enough for a Wildcat.
And you can easily see why Rod Robinson gets the starting nod today for the Wildcats.
1st and 10, Wildcats at your own 46.
A miscommunication there on the handoff. Good job by Kingston Miles to pick up that rebound right off the grass.
On the carry,
and instead of a turnover, it's just a loss of a couple. First time we've seen a real breakdown on that handoff game that has been otherworldly efficient for the Wildcats to this point. It'll officially be a loss of 3 to make it 2nd down and 13. Screenplay intended for Miles, and it falls incomplete. That screenplay has not worked today for the Wildcats for one reason or another. They've had a tough time getting that going. So 3rd and 13. And the play call wildly unpredictable for Coach Johnson and company. They call a run on 3rd and 8. Though you have to imagine on 3rd and a Wahpeton mile. We'll see what Rod Robinson has in the arm tank. Nope. Shovel pass up forward. No chance. Read immediately by Dakota College. Right there on the tackle was Michael Kaiser.
Antonio Hallman on the carry.
And the freshman defensive lineman
Michael Kaiser
absolutely blew that thing up. Nowhere to go. DCB, well, they knew what the play call to expect was. And on 4th down and basically 21, the Wildcats will punt it away. And Dakota College will once again get some really good field position. A huge roll for the Wildcats will help in a big way out to the 25-yard line. From 35 to 25, a 50-yard punt there for the Wildcats.
At their own 24.
So here comes DCB out at their own 24-yard line.
Defense!
Both defenses keeping their O's in it here in the early stages, and what's turned into a little bit more of a slugfest than we thought. Nevertheless, still a wide open ball game as you see a great crowd here in Wahpeton. The 6-foot, 175-pound quarterback hands it off, run off the right side. They're going to try and get Sanders going now, the other running back for Dakota College, in addition to Elijah Todd. Those two are one of the best two-headed monsters you will see in this neck of the woods. But so far, neither monster has had much bite as the Wildcat defense has contained the ground game. Still, DCB has to stick with it. Sanders with 6 touchdowns on the year. A guy who knows how to score with efficiency. Argo sends Moses in motion, play action fake, looking downfield, a wide open find. It's Devius Brooks, and Brooks on the carry out beyond the 20-yard line, eventually brought down at the 15. A 61-yard pass to Devius Brooks, and the wide receiver out of Louisville, Kentucky, puts the Lumberjacks in the red zone.
Gain is good enough for a Lumberjack first down, 1st and 10 at the Wildcat 15-yard line.
First time a play has broken big for DCB today. And you see Brooks just run that deep post route, get to the middle of the field and behind the Wildcats secondary. Now this is where the Lumberjacks are really good. Handoff comes near side, that's Sanders. Brought down, but he gets it out to the 10, a gain of 5. Sanders and Todd have a nose for the end zone that is nearly peerless here in the MCAC. And it's part of the big reason that Dakota College is undefeated in the Western. However, they'll have a nose for the other end zone. We are through one here in Wahpeton.
First quarter, so anyway.
The deep pass by the quarterback for Dakota College sets them up, and now let's see exactly what they have in store.
Brings up 2nd and 4 for the Lumberjacks.
Devius Brooks, the recipient of the 61-yard bomb from Jackson Argo. And now it's 2nd down and 5. Argo looking for the end zone, and he has his man. That is Quay Harvey, and a touchdown to get us to 7-6. Tie, extra point pending. The Lumberjacks find their offensive rhythm, and they do it through the air as Argo, on a 16-yard touchdown pass, delivers it right into the breadbasket of Harvey. And now we'll see Francisco Flores come out and try and put home the extra point.
Francisco Flores.
Isaiah Dennis McLean will be the holder to try and notch us up at 7-all. Good snap, good hold, and a good kick. 7-7 for the only 2 non-Minnesota teams in the MCAC. I want to remind you this game brought to us in high definition by Piper's Auction and Realty. Piper's Auction and Realty is a full-service auction, real estate, and land management company specializing in the selling of land, farm and ranch, real estate, machinery sales, and land management. You can call Piper's at 877-700-4099, or you can visit them online at www.pipers.com for a free consultation. Here you see one of the dorms here on the campus of NDSCS. Many of the fans here at the stadium watching on as we are at a tie ball game. Their neighbors to the north from Bottineau. That ball clambering around a long time. Eventually, the Wildcats will fall on it. The first shot was sitting there for Abe Ngamia, and he could not corral it. Eventually, the Wildcats happy to just pick that thing up.
The 33-yard line where he's standing.
So this drive will begin at the 33-yard line. Could have been a lot worse. So each team getting a big play to score and coming in different fashions. For the Wildcats, it came on the ground with Kingston Miles. For DCB, it was in the air. Now, the Wildcats trying to get their air game going. A late flag. Very, very late.
Incomplete. Intended for Kyle Foltz. There is a
Aaron Appleton was in on coverage. He looked a bit confuzzled. And in fact, it's going to be a penalty against Dakota College Bottineau. A personal foul going against the Jacks. So a 15-yard penalty that's going to put the kickoff miscue in the rear view mirror of NDSCS. It's funny coming into this game. You expected the ground game of Dakota College Bottineau to be the group that gets it done.
After that,
with Todd and Sanders, their touchdown came in the air. For the Wildcats, you expect Gaylord and Robinson to guide this passing attack, whichever of them happens to be a quarterback. Today it's Robinson, and their touchdown on the ground. Now Robinson set up over to the far side. Some rack yardage is there to be had. Another flag will fly. Plenty more laundry here in the latter stages of half number one than we got in the early venue.
Is complete.
And we have an injured Wildcat over on that far side.
Player.
Training staff called over to that far side. Also a flag to be enforced. But it is a safety first concern. So they will tend to the injured player, and we will briefly step aside. A scary situation now here in Wahpeton is they're going to bring out the ambulance. Both teams sent to their sidelines as the medical staff called on. And you've seen it a couple times lately in the NFL when the whole team turns around and immediately calls the medical staff over. You know it's not a great situation. And again, a number of these situations can be precautionary where they bring out the ambulance just to make sure that everything's all right. You don't want to take any chances, and certainly we hope that that is the case. But for now, the ambulance out, and both teams taking a knee on each of these two sidelines.
Don't forget our concession stand is open and selling your favorite snacks and beverages.
So the stretcher brought out as well.
Also, again, WCCO
an unfortunate part of this great game.
Day sponsor of Athletic Wildcats.
As you never want to see this, the ambulance
is always looking for great people
and the stretcher. And again, we certainly hope that it is just precautionary to make sure no additional harm is done.
WCCO Belting named one of the top 50 best places to work in the Dakotas.
We will once again step aside here on BEK Prime
Business Magazine.
as the player on the ground attended to here in Wahpeton.
Is a world leader.
The medical staff doing everything right, and that takes time. You certainly don't want to rush anything like this. You can't even begin to speculate what the injury is, but an applause from the DCB sideline as the player over on that far side loaded onto that stretcher. Did not catch a number and absolutely not going to guess. If we manage to catch sight of it here, I'll let you know. But a good round of applause. And a point over to this near side, which you love to see. Certainly wishing the best for that young man right there. They bring the helmet and pads over to the near side. He'll be loaded into the ambulance. Plenty of motion pointing over towards his team. trying to urge the Wildcats on here in a 7-7 contest. And now both teams will come back out. So difficult to come right back out if you're the Wildcats. In addition to all of that, if you remember, right before that injury timeout, there was a flag thrown. It was a penalty against the hometown Cats, and so it'll actually be first down and 18 as they try to bounce back from a penalty and the dismay that comes from seeing a teammate in some serious pain. 14:34 to go in half number one. The Wildcats are going to get back at it here on BEK Prime. Handoff off the right side, probing and finding a little bit of space is Kingston Miles, but a flag resting at the line of scrimmage.
Flag on the field.
That's usually a hold. It is just that.
Brought down
So
by
knock off another 10
Colston.
yards for the Wildcats.
Penalty is a holding against the Wildcats.
So first down and almost 30 for North Dakota State College of Science.
Still first down.
The ball spotted all the way at the 30-yard line. And now you have to try and straddle the line a little bit. You obviously want to be aggressive, try and get that first down, but recognizing you're about a third of the field away from that line to gain, which rests all the way at the Lumberjacks 42. Nevertheless, buying time with his feet is Rod Robinson, and Rod Robinson is going to get most of it back. Robinson in the original line of scrimmage and more across midfield and out to the 47-yard line. An outstanding piece of work by Roderick Robinson.
Lumberjack 47-yard line.
So of the 30 needed, Rod gets about 20 of them just like that. In fact, a little bit more as it goes to second down and about 6.
Second and about 5 for the Wildcats.
So a 24-yard scamper for the quarterback, Roderick Robinson, and just like that, the Wildcats are in business, erasing a pair of penalties. That has been the theme of the day for the Wildcats, making a mistake and getting right back on their horse and coming through with a big play. We saw the INT go the way of Dakota College. Then the defense stood up on a 50-yard touchdown run. There with back-to-back penalties, it's Rod Robinson putting the team on his back. There, the pass incomplete. It is third down and 6.
Check that, there's no flag. Brings up third down, 3rd and 5.
So still very manageable here for the Wildcats. Robinson, quick drop. Running out of time, sends it downfield off to the right side. The in-air adjustment was almost there, but it will fall incomplete. A lot of contact going both ways there. Trying to find Kyle Colts, it'll fall incomplete.
Coverage brings up 4th down.
Good coverage applied by Aldante Robinson. And the Wildcats will have to punt. However, punting from across midfield is a whole lot better than punting from your own 30.
Simon in punt formation.
Hit down.
Michael Dunn is back to return for Dakota College.
In the punt.
And he won't get a chance as that bounces into the end zone for a touchback.
Goes into the end zone.
And so following the long injury timeout, the Wildcats get a little bit going, but not enough to move the chains on what became 4th and 32. Now, here come the Lumberjacks of Dakota College to try and find their rhythm following the brief pause.
1st and 10 for Dakota College at their own 20-yard line.
Jackson Argo has been asked to put the ball up plenty today for Dakota College. Now we'll see if that changes. With the game having recently been tied up, that 16-yard touchdown pass set up by the Brooks 61-yard shot. Looking to the middle, wide open, in that wide open middle of the field. And it is complete to Kavonta Moses.
Brought down by the one Etheridge.
Moses just runs a simple slant route right there. and finds a wide open gap, plenty of space.
Own 40.
And just like that, it's a first down from the
42-yard
42-yard line for Dakota College. Back to the ground game they go. Elijah Todd keeping those legs churning out across the 45 to the 46-yard line, a gain of 4 for one of the top flight backs in the Minnesota College Athletic
Elijah
Conference.
Todd on the carry.
For Dakota College, they just finished building a new weight room and renovating the facilities, and so strength and endurance, one of the real focal points for head coach Dan Davis and his DCB team.
Sanders
right now, they're going to need some strength
to
try and weather this defensive storm the Wildcats have brought. Now, make no mistake, DCB's defense has been good as well. Hence, 7-all the few minutes gone by here in quarter number 2. The secondary effort may have been enough there for Sanders.
On the carry.
Was brought short, got going, and then brought backwards, but via forward progress, it is a first down for Dakota College.
1st and 10 for.
Want to remind you, this game on BEK Prime available statewide via all cable and satellite providers and online by visiting bechtel.com/bbn. You can get your local channel listings and a broadcast schedule online at bechtel.com/bbn. Dropped in on a dime, but it falls incomplete. Sam Castle had a step right in the heart of the field. It was a well-thrown ball by Argo.
On the coverage for the Cats brings up 2nd and 10 for the
That
Lumberjacks.
is just a straight-up drop. Castle wants that one back in a big way, but there are no second chances. Instead, it's just 2nd down. Also want to remind you, this game brought to us by Farmers Union Insurance, as well as Dakota Community Bank and Trust, North Dakota Firefighters Association, and the BEK Communications Cooperative. Handoff right up the gut, out to the 45-yard line. Just across it to the 44. Just 3 more for Sanders to bring up 3rd and medium.
Brought down by Desmond Reeves. Gain of about 3 on the play. 3rd and 7.
So the long 7 yards. 3-step drop. Argo looking right side. There it is. The same play. Working it down, and they find Michael Dunn, who is done at the 9-yard line. A 36-yard pass to Michael Dunn.
Tackle made by Naheem Tucker. That gain is good enough for a first down.
Those seam routes have been money
1st and goal
for Dakota College.
At the 9-yard line for the Lumberjacks.
In the in-between of that Wildcat defense. Run off the right side and down to the 10. No gain there for Sanders.
Durante Sanders on the carry. Tackle made by Garrett Pendle.
For Dakota College,
Templeton.
the last time they scored a touchdown, it was set up by that 61-yard pass to Devious Brooks.
Just outside the 9-yard line.
Will it be the long pass to set it up again? The big play has been the Achilles heel for Dakota College, but now, here nearing the midway point of quarter number 2, the Lumberjacks looking for a bit of turnabout on their North Dakota rival. Moses was in motion. They're headed that way on the far side. It is secured for a gain of a few by Kevonta Moses.
Complete to Moses. Knocked that out of bounds by Etheridge.
Neither team's tried a field goal yet, and it's a big 3rd down coming. DCB knows it, so they'll call a timeout to discuss, so we will take one as well. Will Dakota College be taking the lead, or does the Wildcat defense stand strong again?
After the timeout.
3rd down and goal. Let's see what Dan Davis and coaching staff drew up out of the timeout. Empty backfield for Jackson Argo. A quarterback draw. Taking a move out of the Wildcats playbook, and it works perfectly. A 7-yard touchdown on the keeper for Jackson Argo.
Touchdown.
You spread them out, draw them out,
Flores in
and run it right up the gut. And the quarterback uses all of his 6-foot frame to lunge into the end zone. And for the first time today, Dakota College has the lead. Flores' extra point is up, and it is good. The Lumberjacks cut away at the deficit, and now they are on top by 7. 14-7 for the first time today. DCB on top here on the BEK Broadcasting Network, the only North Dakota-owned broadcasting company with live local programming of your favorite athletic competitions and activities from around the state of North Dakota. Today, we are in the southeast corner, Wahpeton, as it is homecoming festivities winding to an end here on the campus of NDSCS. They'd love to cap it off with a win, but the Lumberjacks not making it easy as they now lead by 7 with 10.5 to go in the first half. Flores, the deep boot, bobbled again. Special teams has been a difficulty. Nevertheless, a few yards picked up on the scamper.
Michael Kirkendall
as Kirkendall eventually comes down with it and gets the first down set up for the Wildcats.
First and 10 for the Wildcats at the, and spotted at the 26-yard line. First and 10, Wildcats.
So now for the first time today, it is the Wildcat offense that is trailing. We didn't see DCB change up the game plan too much, so they have gotten away from the run just a little bit here. Now the Wildcats lean on it. Kingston Miles bottled up for a 1-yard loss.
Tackle made by Appleton.
Appleton there for Dakota College-Bottineau.
Loss of one.
Good job and a good read by DCB. Having to play plenty of credence to the running ability of the mobile quarterback, Rod Robinson. We've seen it already. Robinson looking to the out route. It's not there.
Robinson's pass is incomplete, intended for Folks.
Well run on that corner maneuver, but a little bit too much air underneath it.
Dennis McLean.
And Rod Robinson has
down.
been just a little bit off on those deep shots. Not a ton of room there. Good coverage applied down the field by Dakota College. And it brings up 3rd down and 11. The Wildcats trying to avoid a 3-and-out. Screenplay set up near side. A little bit of room to work for Josiah Ferguson. Ferguson fighting ahead, and Josiah Ferguson has a first down.
Robinson's pass is complete to Ferguson. Brought down by Cedric Terry.
For the Wildcats in this game, that's been another running theme. Calling short plays with a long way to go and relying on the speed and athleticism of these young men here in Wahpeton. So far, that trend has worked. Speaking of one of those plays, the quarterback draw, Rod Robinson, out just shy of the 45-yard line.
Goes out of bounds.
So he picks up a quick 5 or so yards.
It goes out of bounds at the 44-yard line. So it'll bring up 2nd and 5.
They knew when they brought him in here to Wahpeton, did this coaching staff, led by Merle Johnson in his 6th year, that Malik Gaylord, the sophomore, would have to work to keep his job versus Roderick Robinson. Those two have battled it out, and right now it is Robinson, the starter for North Dakota State College of Science, loading up deep, and again incomplete. Coverage applied down the field by Isaiah Dennis McLean.
Robinson's pass intended for Damari Wilson.
Wilson, the intended target that time on the shot play.
Dennis McLean on the coverage brings up 3rd down. 3rd and 5.
So now on 3rd and medium. Two to the left, 2 to the right, 2 by 2. Quick drop, running out of time, and down goes Robinson. Hit quick, Nick Maduri right there, and that is the sophomore defensive end who leads the MCAC in sacks, picking up another. That is an even dozen on the year for the defensive end out of Sunrise, Florida. The Wildcats will have to punt it back, and now a chance to build on the lead for Dakota College. One of the top specialists puts up a good one for the Wildcats.
Let it go.
Takes a few hops and eventually works its way down to the 11-yard line.
Looks like it'll be at about the
over 50 yards
Lumberjacks
on the swap of field position there for North Dakota State College of Science. So if the Lumberjacks do want to get that 2-score margin, they're going to have to go a ways. Argo keeping his guys in the huddle with plenty of time here in the game, brought to us by Farmers Union Insurance, as well as Dakota Community Bank and Trust, the North Dakota Firefighters Association, and the BEK Communications Cooperative. Big thank you for joining us our first time here, repping some NDSCS football against the in-state foe. Happy to have you on BEK Prime statewide, as well as on the interwebs at bechdel.com/BBN. Shot play called first play. There's that seam route again. Just a beat in front of Michael Dunn.
Intended for Dunn.
It's not a complicated play call. It's just go, maybe run horizontal a bit, and then run straight. It has worked really well as the Lumberjacks continue to test these defensive backs of the Wildcats. North Dakota State College of Science will once again Houdini out with a narrow escape. Dakota College is connected on a couple of those moonshots. Right back to it. Argo, this time on the slant to the middle of the field, working and finding Dunn. Michael Dunn with a first down snag for 11 yards.
Goes down at the 20.
Dunn has been the favorite target today. The freshman connection between quarterback and wide receiver. Run off far side. That's Sanders probing his way forward. Not a ton of space to be had. Durante Sanders had nowhere to go. Neither has Elijah Todd.
Nope.
And that run game for Dakota College that is ordinarily pretty prolific has been shut down. Again, coming into play today, Eli Todd averaged 155 yards per game. He's got under 15 in this one. Give a ton of credit to the Wildcats, playing some exemplary defense and stacking the box. Now the downside of that is that this can happen. Deep shot right there for Dakota College. I think losing track of the ball in mid-flight was Michael Dunn, and it will fall incomplete. The Wildcats daring Dakota College to beat him in the air as they bring the blitzes, load up in front. And with no safety help over the top, Dakota College continuing to probe. I'm looking for another one to hit big. Quick hitter over to the far side, and DCB trying to do what the Wildcats do. Say, we'll get it all after the catch. Doesn't work this time for Dakota College. 5 or so yards picked up, and a quick 3 and out. The Wildcat defense stands strong again.
For Dakota College.
So Flores will have to boot it away. Kirkendall is back to return for the Wildcats. And the punt is bobbled and brought down is Flores. He gets on top of it. The fumble may have been recovered by the Wildcats. It doesn't much matter as they will take over at that spot. A huge opportunity now for North Dakota State College of Science, trying to mount the 1-score comeback.
And 10 for the Wildcats.
Flores unable to corral it. I think the Wildcats did emerge from that with the football. The Wildcats begin at the 13-yard line. And now Malik Gaylord isn't at quarterback as the Wildcats continue to utilize this, our second two-headed monster of the day. They have a lot of talent at that position. They're going to keep rotating it. So enter the sophomore out of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, a state champion at 6A, just across the border from right here in Wahpeton. Gaylord with time. That was a good blitz pickup by Kingston Miles, but it will fall incomplete, intended for a target in the back of the end zone, and it winds up going through the back of the end zone. 3rd down and 10, and the escape hatch begins to open for Dakota College. First down and 10 from the 13. You ordinarily expect almost an automatic score. Right now, Dakota College on the precipice of pulling something out of their hat. Gaylord looking left, now comes center. Tried to look off the defense, he could not. Dakota College was not fooled. Outstanding coverage by Isaiah Dennis McLean. We've said his name plenty for a defensive back. Ordinarily, that's a bad thing. In this case, it's been because he has knocked it away every time. It is a 3 and out for NDSCS, and they will line up for the field goal.
Simon on to try the field goal.
Bonabana Simone, repping the North Dakota colors here. Has the guy from just north of here on to try the field goal and is blocked. Had a chance even after the rejection, and it doesn't matter. The Wildcats take over at the 13 and come away with nothing.
First and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
We talk about the ability of the offenses in this game, and it is 2 good ones. But these defenses have been playing some otherworldly football. They are up for this game in a big way. The Wildcats trying to win their homecoming game against their North Dakota rival. On the flip side, Dakota College, a team that kind of struggled last year, off to an outstanding start this year and looking to keep the good going. Remember, the winner of this game is the only undefeated team in the Western Division of the MCAC.
First and 10 for the Dakota College at the 20-yard line.
Argo comes out in the gun. 3 wide receivers to the far side of your screen. Looking near side, though. Shot play again. Trying to find Brooks. He was the big target the last time. That one broke big for Dakota College. This time it is incomplete. Good coverage down the field by Kirkendall Jr.
Knocked down by Kirkendall. Brings up second.
Kirkendall and Dennis McLean for the Wildcats and the Jacks respectively have been all over it. They have been the primarily targeted defensive backs, and ordinarily when you get a corner or a safety who is the often looked upon guy, it's because the opposing offense thinks they have a mismatch. So far, those 2 guys, if that's the thought, they have said not so fast, my friend. Run right up the gut. And again, the wall stands strong for the Wildcats. A whole host of North Dakota State College's science players there, including Cordell Russell, the sophomore linebacker for the Cats. They're on the stop.
No gain on the play.
3rd down and 10. And so immediately following the 3 and out by the Cats offense, the defense tries to flip the script. Jawan Carroll will check in, adding a little bit of extra speed to that defensive front as they get into full-on pass rusher mode here on 3rd and 10. Jackson Argo flanked by the running back Sanders.
Over the top.
Argo with time to the middle, and that is knocked away. How about the play by Desmond Reeves? That really looked like Sam Castle had a step.
Desmond Reeves
taking a get out here on the replay.
4th down.
That is some good work. Gaining, forcing your way to some inside leverage and denying the wide receiver Sam Castle. Just like that, a 3 and out coming the other way. Flores on the punt. Drops it, and it takes a whole lot of bounce for Dakota College. Eventually fallen on by Kirkendall. He touches up just shy of the 40-yard line, so down to the 38-yard line.
At the Wildcat 38-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
About 40 yards on the punt right there. That silences me trying to do math. Yes, it took that long, and I still probably messed it up. Not a strong suit, the numbers. 4:11 to go here till the Farmers Union Insurance halftime report. Be sure to join us as we recap what's been an exciting first half here in Wapanen. more defensive oriented than I think either team expected coming into the day. But they're proud on that side of the ball too. You recruit athletes to play defense just as much on the offensive side of the ball. Run off the right side, nowhere to go.
Kingston
And the ground game
the
for the Wildcats since the 50-yard touchdown carry by Kingston Miles has been shut down. Neither team able to get much of anything going. What has been there has been on some blown coverages or simply a lack of safety help over the top, as Dakota College not going a ton up either. Trying to slow down this rushing attack of the Wildcats. They'll do just that. It's a 1-yard carry for Kingston Miles.
Brought down by Aaron Appleton.
Picks up just one to bring up 3rd and 9. Brought down by Aaron Appleton, the leading tackler on the day for Dakota College-Bottineau.
Gain of 1, it'll bring up 3rd and 9 for the Cats.
Gaylord delivering the signals. 2 running backs flanking him. In for pass pro or in for a swing. A little bit of both as they chip on their way out on the route. A perfectly thrown ball by Malik Gaylord. Lobbing it over the second level and dropping it right on a dime for Josiah Ferguson.
Josiah Ferguson. Good enough for a first down. First and 10.
How about the dime piece by Malik? The defense can't believe it. And the sophomore quarterback flexing the skills. .230 to go. Still plenty of time for the Wildcats, but they'll have to be mindful of that clock. Malik flings it downfield, intended for Kyle Folks. It will fall incomplete.
Intended for Folks. 2nd down, 2nd and 10.
Want to remind you, later tonight on BEK Prime, we will be in the northern part of North Dakota. Make a trip, about 6 hours from here in Wahpeton up to Minot, North Dakota, as the Minot Minotauros take on the Brown Bears of Kenai River. That game will get going just a little bit after we conclude here, right here on BEK Prime statewide as a part of the BEK Broadcasting Network. Screen set up near side, diagnosed immediately, and very nearly taken away by Dakota College. Fabian Gordon is the one who came away with that football. They wrestle for it down underneath. The officials will say down before the change of possession, and a fortunate break for the Wildcats. It was the strong safety for Dakota College who came away with it. The question was, did he get possession before the knee was down? And the official's determination is no. No red hankies here at the JUCO level. So that is the official call, and it's where we'll stick. Either way, it's a loss, though, to make it 3rd and 13.
Come on, y'all!
Run off to the right side, probing for a little bit of space is Green. Devon unable to find a lot of running room. 4th down, and the Wildcats will have to punt. Before they do, though, a timeout called by Dakota College. It's 2-minute drill time when we get back here on BEK Prime. Minute 29, all that remains in half number 1 in the battle for Western Division supremacy and the battle for North Dakota here in the MCAC. A well-played punt into the end zone. Touchback.
Galliard's punt rolls into the end zone.
So 78 seconds is what Dakota College will have. Remember, DCB will get the ball after the halftime break. They won the opening coin toss and elected to defer. And if they manage to pick up a score of any kind here, that is a decision that will work out perfectly for them. A chance to vulture a possession and make it back-to-back opportunities for the Lumberjacks as they begin this drive at the 20. Jackson Argo has been working the ball to Michael Dunn all day. And Dunn is his favorite target. We've seen that throughout this game and throughout this season. Dunn top 5 in the conference in touchdowns. We'll see if the Jacks can get even close to that thought, as a couple yards picked up on the scamper. Not the first down play you would have expected after calling the timeout to get the ball back.
Sanders on the
But
carry.
they're just trying to get that ground game going. Sanders and Todd are a huge part of what DCB does offensively. And they have not been able to find their rhythm with those two. And just like that, they are just testing the waters with not a lot coming on first down. They wanted to try and get to the punt. That didn't happen. Now they'll see what they can do offensively. If an explosive play comes, great. If not, we go to the locker room. They'll get a little bit of a punch play there. That is Sanders across that line to gain out to the 33-yard line. And a quick gain of 11. Clock will stop as the chains move. And now Dakota College will call timeout. They're going to decide how they want to play this. 34 ticks remaining with the ball resting just across the 30. Homecoming weekend coming to an end here with the homecoming game, but it is the hometown Wildcats trailing by 7. Dakota College hands it off out across the 40-yard line. Though eventually pushed back on the scamper was Durante Sanders.
Oh, Dana Wildcats.
And with that,
brings up
it may very well bring an end to this first half. Though Argo and company get set quick. Maybe looking for one final shot. They've shown they're willing to throw the ball deep. See if they do one final time, or will it be 14-7? Argo wants to run one last play. He's going to get that chance, but he'll take a knee. So 14-7 is indeed our margin through one half. Two offenses stifled, and the Road Jacks lead here in WAP. 14-7, the lead at the half for Dakota College-Bottineau. They're on top of the Wildcats by a touchdown. It was a comeback effort for DCB. The first touchdown of this day was a 50-yard rushing touchdown that came on the very first play from scrimmage in that drive for NDSCS, following a 3-and-out that was immediately preceded by an interception. So the Wildcats turned around and very quickly got that 7-0 lead. 2 punts exchanged, and then a 61-yard pass to Devious Brooks set up the 11-yard touchdown pass that set up Dakota College-Bottineau with their first score of the day. Then the long injury timeout kind of held up the action, and since then each team has kind of tried to regain its form. The difference maker since then on the ensuing drive for Dakota College-Bottineau, a 36-yard pass to Mike Dunn, set up a 7-yard touchdown keeper for Jackson Argo. The quarterback leapt into the end zone and found his way on the board. As we welcome you in here to the Farmers Union Insurance Halftime Report, a reminder that buying insurance should be more about getting it right than doing it fast. Farmers Union Insurance is simply different. Let's go ahead and revisit our player matchup brought to us by Choice Financial. I want to remind you that Choice Financial is people first. You can find out what it means at choicefinancialgroup.com. For Dakota College, we've seen plenty of Jackson Argo. He has the rushing touchdown that has made the difference today for DCB, a young man who's had a huge impact on this program as a freshman and has reversed the fortunes of the Lumberjacks in a big way. And you've seen why with his big arm and his rushing ability today for Dakota College. Meanwhile, Malik Gaylord on the other side, the sophomore, not the guy who got the start, but we've still seen his impact, A, in the punting game, surprisingly enough, and B, from the quarterback spot. He has rotated in and out. Rod started the game. Malik came in afterward and kind of gave him that relief with the two-quarterback system run by the Wildcats of NDSCS. You have seen the impact of both of these young men and will continue to do so in half number 2 here from Wappiton. That is our player matchup brought to us by Choice Financial. Speaking of the impact of these two teams, we told you this is a big one in the Western Division. Let's go and take a look around the region, brought to us by the North Dakota Firefighters Association. You want to be more than your 8 to 5? Visit ndfirefighter.com to learn more about becoming a volunteer firefighter, because you were made for more. We look at the action going on with some of the other Western Division teams. Northland CTC sits at 3rd currently in the Western Division of the MCAC, behind Dakota College and North Dakota State College of Science. They're currently 2-1. and have a big one with Minnesota West, who's currently 0-3. So if the records hold true, you expect Northland to win, and they will be 3-1. Therefore, their record will be the same as the loser of this game, which provides an even clearer path to a Western Division championship for the winner of the North Dakota battle between DC and NDSCS. The other big one in action, Minnesota State Fergus Falls, currently 4th in the Western Division, taking on the other 0-3 in the West, Ridgewater. So Minnesota State Fergus Falls is going to try and march their way forward into the Western Division, a division handled by the Wildcats last year. This time Dakota College has eyes on the crown as we continue to look across this Western Division. Meanwhile, coming up on Tuesday, some Class A volleyball as the Jamestown Blue Jays will come to the capital city to take on the Century Patriots at 7 p.m. Jamestown, the undisputed #1 currently in the state of North Dakota, going up against the Century Patriots, traditionally the #1 in North Dakota. That matchup promises to be a lot of fun. You can watch it, well, right where you're watching right now, right here on BEK Prime at 7 o'clock on Tuesday. That is our look around the region, brought to us by the North Dakota Firefighters Association. Speaking of some of our upcoming matchups, it provides a perfect segue to go ahead and take a look at our John Starlakis Look Ahead. JSI is celebrating more than 50 years of balancing progress with perspective for communications providers. As we told you, #1 Jamestown coming to the capital city to take on the Pats on Wednesday. Some college volleyball as the Trojans of Dak State take on the Vikings of Valley City State in some North Star Athletic Association action. On Thursday, the Knights of Grand Forks Central will take on the Highliners of Valley City. It is a Highliners team that is playing as well as they've played in a while. They are playing some really good volleyball in the city of Bridges, and they will look to try and take on GFC. On Friday, again right here on BEK Prime, we'll go underneath the Friday night lights. Williston and Legacy. In the final Friday of Class A football, it'll be the Coyotes coming to Bismarck, and it will be the TV debut of Legacy's new Digs on the gridiron. So you won't want to miss that as the Sabres welcome in the Yotes of Williston. Then on Saturday, a fascinating matchup for the University of Mary taking on Minnesota Crookston. That's one that Mary had circled last year, a game they won. They will have the exact same mentality this year as UMary welcomes in the Golden Eagles of Minnesota Crookston. That is our look ahead, brought to us by John Starlakis Incorporated. Also, you'll have plenty of Bison volleyball Friday and Sunday coming up here on the BEK Broadcasting Network. So, if you're living in this neck of the woods and interested in some SU athletics, you can find us in Fargo on Friday versus Omaha and Sunday versus Western Illinois, as the Bison look to try and bounce back off of a tough loss yesterday to Fort Wayne. We'll take a quick time out here on the BEK Broadcast Network. When we get back, we'll continue to diagnose half #1 and get you ready for half #2 here on BEK Prime. Halftime here in WAP. It is the Lumberjacks of Dakota College-Bottineau on top 14-7. Here with about 5 minutes or so till we get things going once again here from Wahpeton. And the big thing to focus on, I think, for both of these two teams is how do we get a running game going? Each of these two teams in their last game played before coming into action today saw a game that got to right around the 80s in terms of total points, which could mean that we're in for an unbelievably explosive second half, and that could absolutely happen. But you'd think it's a little bit less likely, A, because these defenses are playing exceptionally well, but B, both teams have been forced into being one-dimensional in what has been kind of irregular for both NDSCS and DCB to this point in the season. Neither running game has gotten going. In fact, the leading rusher for both of these two teams were their quarterbacks. Dakota College, led by Jackson Argo, he had the most impactful run of the day for DCB on that quarterback keeper. Meanwhile, on the other side, for NDSCS, the rushing lead barely going to Roderick Robinson, and the reason for that is one play that went to Kingston Miles, a 50-yard scamper from midfield into the end zone. And so he and Roderick have combined for the entirety of the rushing day for NDSCS. And now each of these two teams will try and get the halftime adjustment resorted and work their way through what is going to be a necessary component of the game. For Dakota College-Bottineau, they're going to try and run down some clock. Their whole idea is to try and protect this lead. Meanwhile, on the other side, you have to be able to really stick with your game plan if you're the Wildcats of NDSCS. And now, they're a primarily air-based attack. That's why we showed you in our Pinky Holmes keys to the game. The air raid is going to be a big part of what they do. Whether it's Malik or Rod at quarterback, they'll have to throw the ball. And why not? It works well for them. But you have to be able to maintain that balance, especially with a talented back like Kingston Miles, who has already shown you the explosiveness that he brings to bear. We'll take one last time out here on BEK Prime. When we get back, it'll be go time. Half number 2, trying to remain the only undefeated team in the Western Division of the MCAC. Back we come to Wahpeton, the halftime in the books. Thanks for joining us on the Farmers Union Insurance Halftime Report. DCB won the opening toss, elected to defer. They make their decision in the second half, and they say, yeah, we'll go ahead and take the ball. 14-7, they lead it. Will the Lumberjacks be able to protect the lead, or will the Wildcats come storming back to try and finish off homecoming weekend? We'll find out together here on BEK Prime.
Sanders and McDonald. Simon to kick off for the Wildcats. Begin the third quarter.
Wildcats ready, and we are underway. Half number 2 from Wahpeton, North Dakota starts now, and it will start with some relatively good field position for Dakota College-Bottineau, as it is McDowell bringing it out across to the 35-yard line.
Tackle made by Donovan Black. Bring up 1st and 10 for Dakota College right at the 35-yard line, the way it looks.
So out comes Jackson Argo and company. We saw Elijah Todd get the early run for Dakota College. Then they leaned much more on their other back, 1A, if you will, and Sanders. And so far, he remains the option, the sophomore, flanking the quarterback, Argo. First play, they go to him on the read option look. Sanders plows ahead and is brought down just shy of the 40-yard line, picking up about 3.
Brought down by Marshawn Jones. Gain of about 3, so it'll be second and 7.
The first drive for Dakota College-Bottineau resulted in a punt, as did many of the others in that first half. A defensive-minded opening stanza in a number of ways, most specifically the rush defense, as both teams have loaded up the box, come with the blitzes. We've seen a couple sacks as a result, but it's been more so pressure, making these quarterbacks work quickly. Speaking of, Argo running out of time, spins it downfield. Had a guy over on that far side,
Argo's pass,
but it will fall incomplete. Trying to work that down, I believe, to Moses. It was Devontae Moses, the tight end out of Fort Myers, Florida, was the early target on nearly every pass attempt for Dakota College. Since then, he's taken a little bit of a step back in targets, but still leads this team on the day in that category, along with Michael Dunn. So the Wildcats going to try and force a 3 and out. Dakota College going to try and push the ball downfield for at least 7 yards. Argo with time, goes far side, out route, easy. That is Moses to the 48-yard line and a first down.
At the 48-yard line,
it's a gain of 10.
For a
and DCB will keep the chains moving. Those out routes might be a wide open opportunity for Dakota College today, having ride primarily on the middle of the field. Perhaps those safeties decide to come in a little bit more. Those corners play some more inside leverage, and it should create some wide open spaces along those sidelines for the Lumberjacks. A whole bunch of Wildcats there on the tackle, no rushing room.
Sanders on the carry.
Still, Sanders manages to get it across midfield out to the 49-yard line and a gain of 3, maybe 4. Make it second down and 6. That'll be one of the better runs of the day for Dakota College. Get 4 yards per carry, you are happy. Gets you to that pace that Todd and company have set throughout the course of this season. See if they go back to the ground here in the pistol. They will, but it'll be with the quarterback and nowhere to go for Jackson Argo, as he is hit quickly by a whole host of Wildcats. Benish was there. First up, the defensive back coming up to make the play. So 3rd and 12, another 3rd and long situation for Dakota College. They have found themselves in this spot way too often today, and it's been a big part of the reason why their offense has not found its rhythm as of yet. Argo looking to the right side, and he does work it down to the 45-yard line. That'll still be well short of the line to gain, but Michael Dunn does come down with the completion for a gain of 9.
At the Wildcat 45-yard line.
That'll make it 4th and manageable for Dakota College. Still, though, they will like to punt and try and pin NDSCSD.
Francisco Flores in punt formation, back deep for the Cats.
Flores will boot it away. And once again, it'll be Kirkendall to receive. Punt very nearly blocked by the Wildcats. Hamilton almost got home, and the kick coverage was almost there on the back end for DCB. But it'll get to the end zone, touchback, and the opening drive for the Wildcats begins at the 20.
10 for the Wildcats at the
so far, second verse, same as the first for Dakota College. North Dakota State College of Science also had to punt on their opening drive. But it was their second drive of that first half. They started to really get things going. You had the 33-yard pass to Hill that would eventually end in an interception, but still got the Wildcats the confidence and the momentum they needed. And eventually would cash in for their first score on the ensuing offensive drive. That one is going to be intercepted. The screen is read beautifully by Dakota College, and flying in on the play was Aaron Appleton, and a humongous swing of events just like that. That screenplay might have to be thrown out for NDSCS. It has been a disaster
for the Lumberjacks.
And the freshman out of Jonesboro, Georgia, comes home. He's the leading tackler, and now he has the INT. Short field for Dakota College. Now, NDSCS will rely on their defense to do what the Jacks defense did earlier in this game. 1st and 10 from the 12. It was 1st and 10 from the 13 for the Cats. They came away with nothing. Run off to the left side for Dakota College. Neely going to work. And Neely picks up 3.
Brandon Neely on the carry. Michael Kirkendall on the stop.
Kirkendall eventually gets the tackle. Second down and 7.
2nd and 7 for the Lumberjacks.
DCB will be in no hurry. The problem for the Wildcats down on the other end of the field when they got the very short look was the incompletions forced them into an unmanageable down and distance, and the field goal was blocked. DCB will run it again, pick up 1. 3rd down and 6.
Brought down by Garrett Pimbleton.
And the question will be, are the Jacks perfectly content with a field goal try to make it a 2-score game?
No gain on the play.
My guess is they'll let Argo take the snap out of the gun, peruse the defense, and maybe just have him take off. The way both Ds have played today, a 2-score lead seems almost insurmountable, though we know it's obviously not with 10 minutes to go here in this 3rd quarter. Sure enough, it is Argo in the gun. He will put it up this time. Argo into the flat, just shy of the end zone.
Argo's
well caught and
pass.
Secured by Cavante Moses.
Complete.
But he is brought down at the
Cavante
2-yard
Moses.
line, and decision time for DCB as they are right on the doorstep. 4th down and about a yard separating them from the line to gain.
It is a 1st down. Is that what I'm seeing?
And now they will signal 1st down. So the decision gets that much easier.
Now I guess we're going to get a measurement. Is that what I'm...
And it will in fact be a measurement. So let's see. A pivotal swing of the sticks right here. A 1st down for DCB. enables their running backs, who are so adept at finding the end zone, to walk loose. Now, the sticks come down, and it is a first down for Dakota College.
That gain is good enough for a first down, so it'll be first and goal.
So fourth down was signaled initially, then they go to the measure, and it becomes first down and goal. And now for DCB, back to the ground you go. Will it be touchdown number 7 on the year for Sanders? Clock winds under 10 minutes here in the third quarter in a game brought to us by Farmers Union Insurance, as well as Dakota Community Bank and Trust, the North Dakota Firefighters Association, and the BEK Communications Cooperative. Offset eye, it's Brandon Neely, the quarterback keeper here for Jackson Argo. He's going to look for his second rushing touchdown of the day, and he will find it. The 2-yard quarterback keeper pays dividends for Jackson Argo. Touchdown DCB.
Argo
they now lead 20-7.
In for a Lumberjack touchdown.
So the Jacks will celebrate, as after a 7-0 lead for the Wildcats, it is now 20 unanswered points for Dakota College.
Flores in to try the point after.
So Flores will come back out for the extra point. He's been money today. Relatively high snap still. Flores gets it up and away. The first score of half number 2 goes to the visiting Lumberjacks, who now lead by 14. 21-7, the lead for Dakota College. That sideline starting to garner some confidence after a 4-5 campaign last year. DCB turning things around in a big way. Looking to get to a perfect 4-0 in Western Division play. In the battle for North Dakota, the only 2 teams out of the Peace Garden State and the MCAC. And it is North Dakota dominating the Minnesota Conference right now. But now they feast on each other. Wildcats looking for some good field position. Nice tackle down the field applied by Colton Becker. Nevertheless, North Dakota State College of Science will begin this drive at the 35-yard line.
Brought it back to the Wildcat. Looks like it's going to be the 34-yard line, where the official is spotting it. First and 10, Wildcats at their own 34-yard line.
So the very first play from scrimmage was an INT by Aaron Appleton. Taylor at quarterback. The experienced veteran here for the Wildcats. Climbs the ladder, takes off, looking for some space, flings it downfield, and it will fall incomplete.
Galliard's pass is incomplete.
I'm not sure that
intended for Richards.
He was behind the line of scrimmage when he threw that.
Second down.
Won't matter because it falls incomplete. Though the Jacks will ask for an illegal forward pass. That flag will never come.
Second and 10 for the Wildcats.
Malik directs traffic again, flipping the running back off to his left side in the gun. It's going to be a handoff going over to the far side, working over to that wing is Malcolm Richards.
On the
and
carry.
He'll be brought down for a loss of 1.
Brought down by Michael Kaiser.
Michael Kaiser there on
Loss
the
of 1
tackle
on the play,
for Dakota
11
College.
For the Cats.
Now the Cats will have to throw it. Well, I say that. They've run it on 3rd and long plenty of times today. But it's 3rd and very long here on 3rd and 11. Gaylord running out of time, sends it downfield, wide open on that far sideline. It's Kyle Folks. Kyle Folks across the 20-yard line and down to the 15. And still on his feet, fighting his way all the way to the 5-yard line. a second, a third, and a fourth effort as the Wildcats are in business.
Wildcat first down, first and goal for the Cats.
A 62-yard gainer. The wide receiver out of Edina, Minnesota, on a massive play that has flipped the script at least a little bit here in this game. And there is that run after the catch athleticism the Cats have relied on all day today. Speed option, Gaylord over the right side, brought down. How about the back end pursuit over on that far side of the field? Gozman there on the tackle for Dakota College.
On the play.
Like a shot fired out of a cannon. Trent Postma brings up the loss. North Dakota State College of Science can no longer afford to leave short field opportunities on the doorstep of their opponent. Third quarter continuing to wind down. Gaylord, slant route, down into the end zone, and touchdown, North Dakota State College of Science. The pass was complete to Damari Wilson, and the Wildcats respond. The scoring already up here in half number 2. As following the interception, the short touchdown cashed in by DCB. Then the quick retort comes for the Wildcats. Bonamena Simone again rejected. That was very low and right on a platter for Dakota College. Midori got there, and so the lead will be 8. Intrigue continuing in the story here in WAP. 21-13, the lead for Dakota College. Will it come down to a 2-point try is the thought on the mind of the Wildcats sideline right now. For the Lumberjacks, they want to get their score in and reclaim that 2-score margin.
McDonald.
Of course, the field here in Wahpeton also used for the Wahpeton Huskies.
Wildcats.
The fans' chairs will indicate. A picture-perfect day here in the southeast corner of the state. Not a cloud in the sky. The temperature beautiful. The sun is shining. A picturesque football game in every way. We've seen offense. We've seen defense. We've seen special teams. It's been fun to watch. And we are very happy to have you along here on BEK Prime statewide.
Gallin on the return.
So with 7:04 to go, DCB comes back out.
Tripped up by Blake Conroy.
As they begin this drive at
for the Lumberjacks
40-yard line.
Own 40-yard line.
So the starting field position for both teams has not been the issue. Each squad has gotten some quality kickoff returns. The balls have not gone especially far in the air, and some penalties in the early going managed to flip the script through the first couple plays on those first few drives. Trips up top, handoff comes to the near side. Sanders looking for his first big carry of the day. He does not find a lot of running room. Outstanding back end pursuit by Deadrick Jackson, the linebacker out of Memphis, Tennessee.
Deadrick Jackson, gain of about 3 on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 7.
So far, in terms of the ground game, nothing has changed. Each team will continue to do it. Balance, obviously, a huge part of football. And a 3-yard carry is not the end of the world by any means. But the splash play has not been there, with one massive exception. The first touchdown of our ball game, a 50-yard score for Kingston Miles. Sweeping action, absolutely blown up. Flying into the backfield was Dimitri Pierre-Louis.
Dimitri Pierre-Louis in on the tackle in the backfield.
That is an outstanding read.
3rd and 16.
Dimitri sits there, waits, recognizes the fake, and goes full bore. We've seen that play a couple times for Dakota College today. That is just good work and prep for this ball game knowing that's something the Jacks like to go to, diagnosing and a clinical cure for the Wildcat defense. Third and 16, play action fake on the slant. They find Devious Brooks, and Brooks out across midfield. And he may have the first down.
Complete to.
On third down and 13, it is there for the Lumberjacks. Kirkendall eventually made the tackle, but not in time. And on third and long, DCB just keeps chopping away and converts to keep that clock a-moving and the ball in the hands of their offense. Two by two. Cats show blitz. Here it comes. Fighting his way up the middle despite the blitz. On a nice carry for Durante Sanders.
Tackle made by
a 5-yard scamper as the Cats tried to clog those middle gaps, your A and your B, and Sanders still runs right up the gut and finds a little bit of space. Manages to fly forward for a little bit at the end as well.
2nd and 5 for the Lumberjacks.
Again, Cats bring the blitz. This time they came from the outside and it falls incomplete. Jackson Argo continuing to ask questions about this Wildcat secondary. And so far, the punctuation on most of those plays has been red and black.
Brings up third down, 3rd and 5.
Again, I think losing that ball in the air a little bit was Michael Dunn. Easy to stare in the sun with not a single cloud in the sky. Four minutes, 20 seconds remaining here in quarter number 3. As the Jacks offense looking to get going here in half number 2. Following the first touchdown, no chance. Swarmed by a whole bunch of Wildcats. Jeremy Alexander and a company along with him to immediately bring down Jackson Argo on the quarterback keeper.
Pendleton on an initial hit.
So a yard lost and a punt forced by the Wildcat defense. Just like that, NDSCS will have a chance to try and tie this thing up. For now, it'll be Francisco Flores to punt. Flores just barely corralled that one. He had one botched earlier that very nearly cost his team. That thing rolling all the way down to the 5-yard line where it is touched up. Some really good special teams showing up for Dakota College. I believe that was DeAndre Holmes, the guy out of Romulus, who comes away with the outstanding hand on the football.
6-yard line.
And it's just like that. The hometown Cats are going to have to go nearly the length of the field. Neither team has been able to mount that type of drive yet. The points have come with relatively easy-going field position, sometimes better than others. The first touchdown of the day came from midfield as the starting spot. Run off right tackle, and that's how you help try and start a drive.
Austin Reynolds on the carry.
Austin Reynolds on the carry. And he gets it out to the 14-yard line in a gain of 8.
Gain of about 8 will be 2nd and 2 for the Cats.
So the Wildcats escape the shadow of their own goalposts, creating a bit of separation, and that frees up your offense to go run or pass. The sophomore is still at the helm of this quarterback situation for the Wildcats. Gaylord flings it down the field, and it will fall incomplete.
His pass is incomplete, intended for Folks.
Trying to find Kyle Folks.
Coverage provided by Dennis McLean. Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 2.
So 3rd down and 2. DCB trying to force the quick answer and continue the defensive struggle that has been on display here today. Run off right guard, second effort, going to be good enough for the first down. Wildcats stay alive and
Austin
move
Reynolds
the
on the
chains, courtesy of the Austin Reynolds carry.
Gain is good enough for a first down.
Reynolds getting plenty more carry here in half number 2. Kingston Miles
say the 18-yard line.
Getting a bit of a break. Quarterback keeper right off the gut, plenty of space, and eventually diving forward.
Galliard on the carry.
He gets the scamper out to the 25-yard line, a gain of 7 for the Wildcat quarterback. We continue to wind here on the BEK broadcast network, celebrating its 11th year, celebrating high school and collegiate athletics to the viewers of North Dakota. A big thank you to the people and businesses that make it all possible. Dirk, Derek, and Jesse here in Wahpeton, North Dakota. Jeff and Jared back in Bismarck at the BEK studios at the University of Mary. The people making it possible today. Malik trying to make it possible for this offense to move. He does! The escapability of the quarterback just barely extends the play, but the pursuit is there for Trent Postma and DCB.
Galliard brought down by Aldante Robertson. No gain on the play, brings up third. And
so it'll wind up just basically getting back to the line of scrimmage. Still a good job to preserve the yardage and keep the possibility, or the relatively easier possibility at that, of a third down conversion alive for the Wildcats. Gaylord, 3-step drop. Looking to throw it at the top of it. He could not. Lobs it a little bit short. Rising up and snatching it right out of the air. The guy on the far side for the Wildcats. What a grab by Austin Reynolds. But a flag on the play.
Trent Postma.
Austin Reynolds, a DB by trade, goes up and makes the win at the point of attack, but we have to see what the flag is. Pass interference against the defense. Penalty politely declined, and a first down for the Wildcats.
Lumberjacks is declined. Play brings us to 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at the own 45-yard
So the
line.
former Red River Rough Rider rises up and makes the play to keep the drive alive. And the biggest snag of half number 2, or at least the most impressive, goes to the Wildcats, as the third quarter has some scant moments remaining. Run over to the far side, nowhere to go for Ezekiel Banks. And a flag on the field.
Flag on the play. Runs out of bounds over there.
The official checking in on his phone? That's a new one. Mom, I'm busy. I can't talk. Only joking. 21-13 our score. It will be a holding penalty going against the Wildcats of North Dakota State College of Science. So the gain on the catch by Austin Reynolds largely erased. The good news, though, is it's still first down. And we've seen the Wildcats convert on these opportunities already.
I think it was holding, so it's 1st and 20 for the Cats.
Now the difference was Rod Robinson was the quarterback for the Wildcats over the course of many of those conversions. Nearly running out of time, and Malik just flings it out. Nice job to stay on his feet, maintain his composure, and work it down to Ezekiel Banks. And Banks is back out across midfield, out to the 49-yard line.
Trent Postma
and a 16-yard carry
gain
with that football following the catch by Ezekiel Banks.
2nd and 3 for the Wildcats.
Make no mistake, that was all Banks, making the Banks statement to bring up 2nd down and much more manageable for the Cats.
That is the end of the third quarter.
And that second down will come in quarter number 4. Put them up. We head to a decisive fourth here in Wapiti. It is just a one-score game as we begin quarter number 4 here at the conclusion of homecoming weekend for the Wildcats of NDSCS. They trail by 8 but are driving. Second down and 6 as we begin the fourth quarter here from the Wildcat campus. Run right up the gut. Fighting through a couple tackles and working hard is Zeke Banks out to the 38-yard line. A gain of 12 and a first down.
That gain is good enough for a Wildcat first down. First and 10 for the
Banks looked wrapped up, but that's the drawback of trying to strip that football away, and that's exactly what Michael Kaiser tried to do. Sometimes you get more broken tackles. And there, Banks cashes in to bring up a first down. Taylor climbing the ladder, running out of time, and he runs into the waiting hands of Tyler Gay.
By Tyler Gay. Bring up second down.
Gay right there, just gets by his man.
Second and 17 for the Wildcats.
He tries to climb the ladder. He just welcomes it in and says, hello. So the sack makes it second down and 17. Those defensive fronts continuing to win and getting some help from the second level. The linebackers have blitzed on nearly every play, not this time, and that is reflected with a clean pocket still. It will fall incomplete, intended for Antonio Holloman.
Gaillard's pass is incomplete, intended for Holloman.
Really good zip on the ball right now.
Coverage brings up third down,
but
third and 17.
That time it gets away. Third down and 17. Will the drive stall because of a sack? Jacks playing tight on the outside in the slot. Looking like they're going to blitz once again on third and long. They bring forward, doesn't matter. Whistle comes before the play.
Going to be delay of game.
It'll be
delay of game against the Wildcats.
Delay of game penalty against North Dakota State College of Science.
I'll bring up
one too many adjustments made at the line by the sophomore out of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. So from 3rd and 17 to 3rd and 22. And the Cats once again not moving especially quickly to the line. 10 seconds remaining on the play clock. Empty backfield. Gaylord steps into it, spins it downfield, a step, and it is going to be incomplete. That was very nearly intercepted. Isaiah Dennis McLean was there on the coverage. You see him right there wearing that number 2. Almost came away with it. It would have essentially been a long arm punt. Instead, we'll get a leg punt, foot punt. I don't know what the actual equivalent of it is. An actual punt for North Dakota State College of Science. Leak sends it away, and it is a diving reception to make sure there is not any extra yardage. That's a good job by Michael Dunn. Punt returner doesn't always mean returner. First thing you got to do is catch it. Dunn does just that and gets down. All you could do right there on a quality punt delivered by the quarterback turned punter. So this drive begins at the 15, and a chance for Dakota College to try and make one more chop that may fell the tree. Though it's still plenty of time left. A 2-score lead, especially if DCB takes a lot of time off that clock, which they've been apt to do today, could be the difference maker. First play, they go to ground. Not a whole lot of room to be had. Sanders, though, continues to keep those legs a churning. He managed to pick up 5 on what was originally just a gain of a couple.
Brought down by
I want to remind you, you can get a copy of every single game we do here at the BEK Broadcast Network on DVD by visiting our website at www.bechtel.com/BBN. College, high school, professional, doesn't matter. You can get a DVD copy of it right there. Short gain at this time. Sanders picks up 3. 3rd and short, a couple yards, separating Dakota College away from a first down.
In on the step.
And now DCB will be a little bit more
3rd down, 3rd and 1.
Predisposed to try and run that football, continuing to keep that clock churning. They haven't done it a whole lot out of respect for what the Wildcats defense has been able to do today, particularly up front. But now they'll keep it on the ground. And there, the Wildcats will make them pay. Blown up in the backfield by Cordell Russell. A loss of 1 for Sanders, and it's 4th down.
No gain on the play, the way it looks.
And that can be the downside of playing it a little bit too conservative, at least by some measures. Now, DCB trusts their running game, but that time it doesn't work out for them. They'll have to punt it away. And the Cats will get it right back, and they should get it on this side of midfield, barring a monstrous punt by Francisco Flores.
Kirkendall back deep.
Flores manages to get it off, and it is indeed a pretty quality punt all the way over to the 39-yard line of the Cats. 47 yards on the field flip, courtesy of the place kicker punter out of Soap Lake, Francisco Flores.
39-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Still plenty of drives remaining in this game, but each one starts to take on added significance as we get closer and closer to the end of this ball game. As the old saying goes, there can only be one. One of these teams will remain undefeated. The other will fall into a 2-way tie for 2nd place, assuming the other results here in the MCAC go as expected today. Triple option look here for the Cats. Leads to a shovel for Antonio Holloman, and Holloman brings it out to the 46, a gain of 7 to make it 2nd down and 3.
Tackle made by Michael Kaiser, gain of about 8 on the play. We're going to call it 2nd and a long 2.
The 5'10" sophomore quarterback trying to lead his team down the field for a chance to tie. Gaylord with time. Flush to his right. Comes near side. The comebacker is held onto. Nice job to secure that catch by Damari Wilson.
Tackle made by Carl King.
The quarterbacks in this game, specifically the 2 wearing red and black, have done a really good job of extending plays. Without that escapability, the sack numbers would be there for Dakota College, as they have been against many of the other teams in the MCAC. That's how Nick Midori has 12 on the year, and DCB is one of the top defenses in terms of quarterback pressure applied. Deep shot, a jersey grabbed. Will the flag come? No.
Galliard's pass is incomplete, intended for Folks.
Not cheating if you get away with it, I suppose. The defensive backs are often told that. You don't get to see it right there, but we could, as it was right here on that near side. Isaiah Dennis McLean had a little bit of that jersey on the way down the field, but no flag was coming for defensive holding. And so with 10:18 to go, it'll be 2nd down and 10. Slant route, a one-handed knockdown. You bring it up in the air, and it is secured. That is Kyle Folks down to the 39-yard line. A gain of 7. It has not come easy today. Neither of these defenses have made it so. And there, the 2nd effort by Folks Under 10 minutes to go in a game brought to us by the BEK Communications Cooperative, as well as Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, and the North Dakota Firefighters Association. A big 3rd and 3. They're going to keep it on the ground, are the Wildcats, and nowhere to go. Aaron Appleton has been the man for DCB, and he was there again. 4th down and 5, and a decision to be made here in the latter stages.
Aaron Appleton brings up 4th down. 4th and 4 for the Wildcats.
Now Malik will stay on the field, but that doesn't mean a thing. He can punt or he can throw the ball. He does both. We saw yesterday in our game in Colfax, North Dakota, when you had that exact same situation, it was a fake punt. For now, a timeout called by DCB. They're going to give the Wildcats some time to think about this. It's 4th down when we get back.
College-Bottineau.
4th down and a few yards, and it is the offense that comes back out for North Dakota State College of Science. The ball resting right at the 40. They need to get to the 36. It's a run off the right side, stretching, and on that little bit of a reach out there by Austin Reynolds. He has the 1st down. Yes.
That is a 1st down, Wildcats. 1st and 10, Wildcats.
Just barely. But the officials look over to that far side, and they signal 1st down. That far line judge double checking, and it will be confirmed as a 1st down. A massive play for the Wildcats. A flag comes. That's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Dakota College.
Dakota College, unsportsmanlike conduct.
I don't know if you all have heard it on our Nat sound mic, but there has been some hooting and hollering that we have heard from the far sideline all the way over here on this near side, and the officials had just about enough. And so a 15-yard penalty will hamstring the defensive effort of Dakota College.
All right. Now it's 1st and 10 for our Wildcats at the
So that penalty will put the Wildcats into the red zone with the ball spotted at the 20. The closer the Wildcats get, especially after that 4th down conversion, the more this feels like a make-or-break drive. It's not. There's 8:40 to go, but this is a big one now. There can be no dispute. Gaylor looking downfield, and it is dropped. He had his guy to Kyle Folks, but it falls incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Would have made it 2nd and about 5. Instead, of course, we stick at 2nd and 10. And very nearly intercepted on the back end of it. A real chance there for DCB to deliver a devastating blow. It was Aldante Robertson who managed to get a hand on it, but I don't think that was going to be controlled by anybody.
That guy just about had that thing.
So 3rd down and 10, or a couple plays to possibly get it. Free play, down the field, incomplete. The flag resting at the 25. A good job by Malik and company to recognize the free play and get it towards the end zone. And now the 5-yard penalty will give them a second chance and make it 3rd and 5. And again, very possibly in 4-down territory. So a chance for the Wildcats, as they need 5 yards on 2 plays essentially. Now it doesn't have to be 4-down territory. However, a field goal and an extra point have both been blocked for the Wildcats. You may want to eschew that kicking game going forward as much as possible. Another whistle comes. I think the Wildcats may have just given it back. A dead ball and a false start. So the offsides by one, the false start by another. Nerves starting to run high. These two teams know what this game means, not only in the grander scheme of it, but to these guys in general. Obviously, the two North Dakota programs competing in this conference, but you have a lot of Peace Garden State players on these two rosters. Now, these rosters are as diverse as you'll see anywhere. Guys from Washington, Wisconsin, Florida, Minnesota, North Dakota, wherever, Alaska. But there are plenty of North Dakota representatives, and they want to carry that banner with pride. Taylor running out of time, still retreating backwards, still on his feet, not getting rid of it yet, trying to keep it alive, and he will manage to get it out, and it will be, I believe, an ineligible receiver, as it is just thrown down. An absolutely hectic play. As he threw that down to an offensive lineman. You're not allowed to do that. A fun play to watch. The whole thing was totally illegal, but wow, what a play. It'll be illegal touching. And it'll be 4th down. As you get the loss of down on the penalty, you lose some yardage as well. So 4th down and a ways. And again, it's a really tough decision now for the Wildcats. The officials of conference as they try and enforce this thing. They'll tick off the few yards. 4th down and 15. A field goal does you some, but with under 8 to go, you kind of sort of have to go for it. And that's exactly what the Wildcats are going to do. It's not the play of the game yet with 8 minutes to go, and the Wildcats having 3 timeouts. But let's see what they do on 4th and a long ways. The line to gain the 10. Gaylord running out of time, and the pressure comes off the edge. Anthony Valcarl, the defensive end out of Hollywood, Florida, comes flying in. However, there is a flag on the play. Did Anthony get a little bit of a jump? It is holding against the defense.
Penalty is holding against the
and that just changed the game. That is an automatic 1st down. The Wildcats were done on this drive, and a second life, a huge mistake by Dakota College and NDSCS with a massive chance now. The Dakota College sideline is absolutely beside themselves. Again, if it was just the yardage ticked off, it would not be a 1st down. In North Dakota high school football, that is not a 1st down. But here in the JUCO ranks, that is an auto 1st. The defensive penalties have absolutely devastated DCB. They played really, really well this drive, and yet it is 1st down and 10 for the Wildcats. A run up the middle, space to go, and a big-time carry comes for Austin Reynolds out to the 6-yard line. Reynolds picks up 9, so the 1st down is still there, but the Wildcats are thinking 1st. The nerves running high, and remember, even if the Wildcats find their way into the end zone, they will have to go for a humongous 2-point try. They don't have to, but they in all likelihood kind of sort of do. Trips over to the left side. Remember, a field goal and an extra point have been blocked. Those both would have been difference makers. Run to the right side, diagnosed by Dakota College-Bottineau, and is blown up by Fabian Gordon.
Tackle made by Fabian Gordon.
The strong safety has done a really good job of coming up and playing the run. He's been asked to do it a few times. He very nearly forced a fumble on his last tackle.
First and goal for the Wildcats at the 5-yard line.
First down, though, picked up, so it's first down and goal. They only needed about a yard to get this first. They got that. Slant route, end zone, caught, touchdown. Kyle Folks has it, and now comes a potential play of the game for the Wildcats. They have to go get this too.
The Wildcat will try the 2-point conversion here.
Good slant route run by Kyle Folks, just gains inside leverage. That's all you got to do when you just need a few yards. The ball is placed on the doorstep. Just 7 seconds remaining. NDSCS is going to have to get this snap off very quickly. 3, 2, 1, snap off in time. Run off to the left side. That ball coughed up the lateral to try and get it going. It's going to come all the way backwards and eventually down. The 2-point try does not go. 21-19. The Jacks will try and kill off what remains of the clock. The Wildcat defense will try and create one last chance. A thrilling finish here in Wahpeton, and it's coming your way next on BEK Pride. 21-19 is the lead for Dakota College, and the blocked field goal looms even larger now for North Dakota State College of Science. Despite that, the margin is 2. If it was a 3-point game, you would think that the Wildcats could be thinking about a possible tie, though they really don't want to kick again. Now with a 2-point margin, it'll be a do-or-die try if North Dakota State College of Science can get the football back. However, the Jacks are going to do their best to make sure that doesn't happen. The guys up front are ready for DCB in the event of some trickery, though it will not come here. The boot comes deep. The Cats are going to trust their defense, and why not the way it's gone today. Nice hop step by Durante Sanders. And Sanders eventually taken out of bounds, but not before he got it to the 45-yard line. So DCB gets a short field.
45-yard line, first and 10 for the Lumberjacks after on 45
If Dakota College manages to work their way down the field, it may be the final haymaker. Either way, they're going to try and kill some clock. Now, that touchdown drive by North Dakota State College of Science was set up on the offensive side by DCB anyway, by 3 straight runs that turned into a 3-and-out. Now, there were a few other things that enabled that touchdown for the Wildcats. They got some help from their neighbors to the north. Now, can the Lumberjacks respond in kind? Jackson Argo is the quarterback. The running back flanking him to his left is Sanders. Sanders has the football. He brings it to midfield.
In on the tackle is Marshawn Jones.
A 4-yard carry for second down and 6.
Second and 6.
Sanders has been steady-heady, averaging about 4 yards per carry over the course of half number 2. Starting to find a little bit more running room, though not enough for DCB to go to him with a consistent reliability that they ordinarily would like. There you see, Lee Gilliard just wants one last chance. We'll see if he gets it. Run off to the right side. Nowhere to go for Sanders.
Brought down by
what do you do on third down and long?
A
loss of 1. It's third down and 7.
Third and 7.
Is the 40 seconds guaranteed worth a run? Or do you try and put this thing up in the air with your freshman quarterback, Jackson Argo? Now, bear in mind, here in the JUCO level, freshman doesn't mean as much as it can at a 4-year school. Still, though, Argo just a few games into his collegiate career. A big one right here. Arguably the biggest spot he's seen this season. Argo on the play action fake, bubble screen out to the far side. Michael Dunn working forward, and Dunn is brought down. A gain of just 1. It's 4th down and 6. A punting situation, and the Wildcats are going to get one last chance.
Brought down by Kirkendall. 4th down.
It was an in-between there for North Dakota State College of Sciences defense.
4th and 6
the Jacks went with a safe pass, so they get their 40 seconds off the clock no matter what, basically with the potential for a first down. A good intermediate but safe play call for the Jacks. It does not work out.
Kirkendall beat back deep for the
Since they have gotten the 2-score lead, the Lumberjacks have played some shell offense, just trying to hold on. Now they will run the clock all the way down and take the delay of game. So a little bit more space for Francisco Flores as he will try and pin this thing inside the 10. He has done that already once today and has been very close on a couple of others.
Stays at 4th down. I'll just be 4th.
If there was a special teams player of the game, it would be the punter for Dakota College. Now he's also had one botched play, though it didn't hurt his team. Again, bobbled, but he gets it off. He had to rush it. And so it's not as good as he's capable of to the 32-yard line.
Down at the
About a 20-yard swing there. Not a ton.
Down by Andre Holmes.
So the situation goes 3 minutes and 50 seconds. The Wildcats only need a field goal to win. However, that has been risky business today for North Dakota State College of Science. They are thinking touchdown.
Forget about the field goal.
2 by 2. The formation for North Dakota State College of Science. Gaylord, 3-step drop. He wanted it all at once on this play. Instead, he is going to be bottled up. Never brought down, but forward progress stop. That is a sack for Nick Midori. That is his 2nd of the day and his 14th on the year. The sack leader once again coming up big for DCB.
2nd down and 18.
All the way back to the 14-yard line. So 2nd down and 18. Here comes the deep shot. A lot of contact, and there is your flag. Kyle Folks ran right into Carl King.
There are a couple flags on the play.
Couple flags on the play. The officials will conference.
Everybody in the field seen it. Flags is coming from everywhere. Come on, Pig.
It will indeed be the PI going against the Lumberjacks of Dakota College. Once again, the man in the white hat will have a brief discussion. The initial signal I saw was a penalty going against DCB. Sure enough, that looks like that will be the case. Again, communicating via the phone to get the official call. No pun intended. With 3:04 to go.
All right, we think it's holding.
And it will be
a
first down for the Wildcats.
First down at their own
38-yard line. So it is pass interference, and it is a penalty against DCB, and it is a first down for the Wildcats. Confusion galore. All it amounts to is another mistake for the Jacks. Throw down the field. That ain't a mistake. It is read perfectly and intercepted. A potential ceiling INT for Dakota College-Bottineau. Quay Harvey, the wide receiver, there to play a little bit of it from the defensive back spot. He comes up huge. Now at 2:54 to go. Dakota College just has to kill what's left of this clock. to seal a win here in enemy territory in Wahpeton, North Dakota, and spoil the homecoming festivities. What a play by Harvey. Once that ball's in the air, wide receiver and DB can become a little bit interchangeable. You just got to make a play on the football, and he shows wide receiver hands coming away with that one. And a few fans starting to matriculate towards the exit. The good news for the Hats is that they have 3 timeouts.
Sanders on the carry.
They will signal that the clock continuing to wind. Forward progress stopped inbounds.
Timeout.
And now a timeout called by North Dakota State College of Science. They have 2 remaining, 2:37. They want a final heave. Way Harvey has a touchdown in this game. It was the very first for Dakota College-Bottineau on a 16-yard strike. He may now have the other catch of the game that decides this one. For now, 2 timeouts remaining for the Wildcats. Shotgun formation. Jackson Argo, the quarterback. A flag will fly. I think the Wildcats were drawn offside there. They were indeed.
Offside against the
A really
Wildcats.
good hard count by Jackson Argo. That Wildcat defensive front has timed up the snaps pretty well today. That time they get tricked. And a heady play by the freshman quarterback to make it
So
second down and 5.
Second and 6.
Run off to the right side, and that is the
Sanders
best
on the
run of the
carry.
day for Sanders and Dakota College-Bottineau. First down, Jacks.
Brought down by a whole group of Wildcats.
So DCB very much in field goal range now.
Don't see a play.
They don't really want to score. They just want to kill what's left of this clock. 2 timeouts remaining. The
That
clock
is a
will
first
stop
down, I
as
believe.
the
I haven't
chains
seen a
are
signal, but it
moved,
is a first down.
and then it will reset.
Now we have
As
a
here we go,
timeout.
2:27 to go. Now a timeout called with a
Timeout
couple
taken by the
seconds
Wildcats.
elapsed. The Wildcats take timeout number 2. They've got 1 left, and it's first down, Jacks.
It's first and 10 for the Lumberjacks at the 23-yard line.
First and 10 for the Jacks at the 23-yard line. A
Argo
quarterback
on the
keeper for
keeper.
Jackson Argo. He gets to the 21, so just a couple yards picked up. But the important part there is the clock keeps moving. The Cats have
Usually
1
hit made by
timeout
VG
left.
Pure Lewis. Second down.
There can be some
Second
time
and 8.
remaining if not a single first down is gained from this point on by Dakota College. If they do pick up a first, this game is over. DCB taking the full extent of this clock, down to 3, and they now will have to call a timeout. They cannot
Timeout.
take a
Timeout
delay
taken by
of
the
game, so
Lumberjacks.
the Jacks call a timeout. Minute 43 to go. It's a fun finish. (21-19). The lead here at the end of this ball game. The Wildcats looking for one last chance. Jackson Argo working his way towards that line to gain. He is just
Argo
shy
on the
of
carry.
it. So
Whole
a
group,
minute
there's a
32 to
timeout here
go.
over by this
Third
official.
down, timeout, Wildcats. It is the play of
Argo
the
is brought
game.
down by
It's coming your way next.
a number of
A stop,
Wildcats.
and the Wildcats
Timeout
may have a
taken by
chance. A first down, and
Wildcats.
it's game over in Wahpeton. There you see it. The distance that separates the potential to win with the potential for a chance. Argo will come out in the shotgun. The running back to his right is Sanders. 4 wide receivers in the pattern. They go to Sanders, and North Dakota State
Sanders
College of
on the
Science
carry.
may get their chance. Garrett Pendleton was there on the tackle for the Wildcats.
No gain on the
Fourth
play.
down.
Stopped by a number of Wildcats. Brings up fourth down.
About 40 seconds separating play and game clock. DCB can take this all the way down, and they've got a couple of options. A field goal takes that option off of the table for the Wildcats and will force them to go the length of the field for a score. They can try and go for it on fourth down, and end the game right here with the ball in their hands. That is the conversation going on over on that far sideline right now, as they will take a timeout with 46 seconds on the clock. We'll find out together what they do. That's the final timeout of the game, and so it comes to its conclusion. Next.
Argo on the keeper.
It was a quarterback keeper by Jackson Argo. It is a first down, and that is your ball game. The Lumberjacks of Dakota College-Bottineau will get the win. The Lumberjacks of DCB will stay undefeated in the Western Division of the MCAC, and it will be a rivalry victory and a homecoming spoil for Dakota College. One knee does it. NDSCS aggressive on that victory formation. Look, the ball game is won by Dakota College, and they celebrate on the far side. A big-time rivalry victory by the guys out of Bottineau.
Last play of the game.
An impressive showing all the way around.
The final score
I think those guys wanted this victory. They worked hard for it. They fought for it. And it was a really fun game. Two defenses playing their best games of the year. And by almost the narrowest of margins, the win goes to the Lumberjacks of Dakota College. 21-19, and here is the decisive quarterback keeper by Argo. There is your first down, and there is your ball game. 21-19, the Lumberjacks of Dakota College-Bottineau. Victorious, they raise the trophy. They are your winners in the battle of the North Dakota teams here in the MCAC. Rivalry won, and it's the Jacks who get it. And the guy who had the game-sealing play has to be our Choice Financial Player of the Game. He also had a touchdown. Quay Harvey stole this game away with an interception. He got the inside leverage and got away with it. A big-time play by number 16 gives Dakota College-Bottineau the opportunity to walk away with this victory. An opportunity that at times it didn't seem like they would get. They fought hard. It was a well-played game by both teams, and it was the interception by the freshman wide receiver out of Bradenton, Florida, that seals the game. Quay Harvey, your Choice Financial Player of the Game. Remember, Choice Financial is people first. You can find out what that means at choicefinancialgroup.com. A picture-perfect day here in Wappiton comes to an end after a great football game here from the campus of North Dakota State College of Science. For Derek and Dirk, as well as Jesse and our group back at the BEK studios at the University of Mary, Jeff and Jared, I'm Corey Brooks. Have a great couple of hours. Remember, hockey coming up. Toros, Brown Bears, later tonight on BEK Prime. See you then.